NASA just found something on Mars, but even the scientists can't fully explain it. Deep inside Jezero crater, the Perseverance rover drilled into a mudstone rock and discovered strange leopard spot patterns. On Earth, these same patterns and minerals often point to microbial life. Could this be the closest sign yet that Mars once hosted living organisms? Or is it just a trick of geology? Tonight, we dive into the mystery and why this discovery has scientists both excited and cautious. Is this the moment we've all been waiting for? The first undeniable sign that Mars, our silent neighbor, may not have been so lifeless after all? Or is it another Martian trick, an illusion carved not by biology, but by chemistry alone? This is the story of a rock that could change everything, or nothing at all. To understand why this discovery matters, we need to go back billions of years in Martian history. Today, Mars looks like a barren desert, a world stripped of its atmosphere, its rivers long dry, its oceans vanished. But that's not how it always was. Jezero crater, where Perseverance is exploring, is more than just a hole in the ground. It's a fossilized memory. 3.5 billion years ago, Jezero was home to a vast lake, fed by rivers that carried sediment, minerals, and possibly life itself. Its delta fans still stretch across the crater, frozen in time, preserved in the dusty red silence. Scientists have long believed Jezero was one of the best chances for finding signs of ancient life. Where water once flowed, life often follows. And if microbes ever existed on Mars, Jezero might still hold their traces, hidden in the rocks, waiting to be revealed. So when Perseverance drilled into Shayava Falls in July 2024, expectations were high, but no one expected what came next. The core sample that has sparked such a frenzy came from a layered mudstone. On Earth, mudstone forms in calm, water-rich environments. Riverbeds, deltas, lake bottoms. These are the kinds of places where microbial life thrives, clinging to sediments, leaving behind chemical fingerprints as they live and die. Inside this Martian mudstone, Perseverance's instruments detected something strange. The rock wasn't uniform. Instead, it was patterned, spotted. Like the fur of a leopard, dark patches spread across lighter rock, a mosaic that begged for explanation. Even stranger, the chemical analysis showed minerals like vivianite and greigite. Vivianite, a bluish mineral that on Earth often forms in oxygen-poor, waterlogged environments, often in the presence of decaying organic matter. Greigite, an iron sulfide mineral, common in microbial mats and hydrothermal vents on Earth. Together, these minerals painted a picture that was eerily familiar. A picture of conditions where life could have existed. Scientists nicknamed them leopard spots. At first glance, they look almost artistic, dark blotches scattered like ink stains. But in geology, patterns are never just decoration. They're clues. On Earth, similar, spotted textures have been found in rocks shaped by microbes, who alter their chemical environments as they live. The idea is tantalizing. Perhaps these Martian leopard spots are ancient microbial graffiti, etched into stone billions of years ago. But here's the catch. Nature can play tricks. Non-living processes, like chemical reactions between water and rock, can sometimes mimic the same textures. That's why NASA scientists are cautious. This isn't proof. It's a possibility. And in the search for life beyond Earth, possibility is enough to set the world on fire. To grasp why this rock matters so much, you need to understand the weight of the question behind it. For centuries, humans have looked at the stars and asked, are we alone? Mars has always been at the center of that question. From the canals imagined by 19th century astronomers to the science fiction stories of Martian civilizations, the red planet has long been a mirror for our hopes and fears. But now, for the first time, we're not talking about imagination. We're talking about data. Real, tangible evidence locked in Martian stone. If these leopard spots truly are biosignatures, direct evidence of life, then it means life is not unique to Earth. It means the universe might be filled with life, waiting to be discovered. But if it's just geology, then Mars remains what we thought. A silent world. Fascinating, but lifeless. The difference between those two possibilities is enormous, and that's why this discovery has shaken scientists and captured the world's imagination. Of course, this isn't the first time we've thought we found life on Mars, and history warns us to be careful. In 1996, a meteorite from Mars known as ALH 84001 was studied on Earth. Inside, scientists claimed to see fossilized microbes. The announcement made headlines worldwide. Had we just found Martian life? But later studies showed that the fossilized could be formed by natural, non-biological processes. The excitement faded. More recently, scientists detected methane in Mars's atmosphere, a gas that on Earth is mostly produced by living organisms. Again, hope surged, but methane can also be produced geologically, and the detections turned out to be inconsistent. Time and again, Mars has teased us with signs of life, only for those signs to evaporate under scrutiny. So when Perseverance found leopard spots, scientists knew better than to cry victory. This time, the evidence had to be airtight. Right now, the scientific community is split. Some believe this is the strongest evidence yet of ancient life. Others warn it could just be chemistry playing tricks. The problem is this: Perseverance can only do so much. Its instruments are powerful, but they're not a laboratory. To really know, we need those samples back on Earth, where scientists can analyze them with the most advanced tools we have. That's the mission of the future: Mars Sample Return. If all goes to plan, in the next decade, the rocks Perseverance collects will be brought back to Earth. And then, finally, we'll have answers. But until then, we live in the tension of uncertainty. A mystery written in Martian stone, waiting to be solved. So what happens if these leopard spots are proof of life? What would it mean for us? For our understanding of the universe? For the story of humanity itself? And what if we're wrong? What if this is just another illusion? Another false alarm in the long history of Martian mysteries? Let's imagine, for a moment, that these leopard spots aren't just geological quirks. Let's imagine they are what many hope they are: the fossilized remains of ancient microbial life. If that's true, the implications are staggering. It would mean that life isn't unique to Earth, that the universe has a tendency, maybe even a destiny, to create life wherever the conditions are right. Think about it. Two planets side by side in the same solar system, both producing life independently. If life arose on Earth and it also arose on Mars, then life might not be rare at all. It might be common. In that case, every star we see in the night sky, every planet orbiting those stars, becomes a potential cradle of life. Alien civilizations might not be science fiction. They might be inevitabilities. But here's where it gets even more haunting. If life really did exist on Mars, it's gone now. Something happened. Mars lost its atmosphere, lost its magnetic field, lost its water. It became a graveyard. And if Mars could lose everything, could Earth too? Mars is more than just a planet we study. It's a warning. Billions of years ago, Mars may have looked very much like Earth. It had rivers, lakes, maybe even oceans. It had an atmosphere. It had the building blocks of life. And then it lost them. Slowly, silently, over eons, the planet's core cooled. The magnetic shield that protected it from solar winds faded. The atmosphere was stripped away. Water evaporated into space. If microbial life did exist, it likely perished in that slow apocalypse. What's left behind are only whispers. Mineral scars, patterns in the rocks, hints in the dust. For scientists, Mars is like a time machine. It shows us what can happen to a living planet when conditions turn hostile. And for humanity, it's a sobering reminder. Our home is fragile. If life is common in the universe, survival is not guaranteed. But speculation is not enough. Scientists crave certainty, and that's why Mars sample return is one of the most anticipated missions in history. Here's how it works. Perseverance collects core samples and seals them in tubes. Future missions, likely involving both NASA and the European Space Agency, will retrieve those tubes and send them back to Earth. Once those rocks arrive in terrestrial labs, the real detective work begins. Scientists will look for microscopic structures, isotopic ratios, organic molecules, patterns that are virtually impossible to explain without biology. It will be the closest we've ever come to answering the question, are we alone? But here's the hard truth. That mission may still be a decade away. Until then, we live in the mystery. We balance on the knife's edge of possibility, between wonder and doubt. History is filled with moments where we thought we had the answer. The meteorite ALH 84001, the methane plumes, even the so-called Martian canals seen by early astronomers. Each time the excitement surged. Each time the truth slipped through our fingers. This is why scientists are cautious now. They know the cost of false hope. They know how fragile credibility is in the search for life. And yet, this feels different. Why? Because the evidence isn't just chemical. It's structural. It's textural. It's layered into the rock in a way that demands explanation. And though geology can mimic biology, the similarities are eerie. It's as if Mars is whispering to us. Look closer. No matter what the final verdict is, discoveries like this ignite something deep within us. They force us to confront the possibility that we are not the center of the universe, that life may be a universal story, not a singular accident. Imagine the textbooks rewritten. Imagine classrooms filled with children who grow up knowing that life existed on 2 planets in our solar system. Imagine the philosophical and spiritual questions that would follow. Are we part of a cosmic family? Or are we destined to be alone, survivors on a fragile world? These questions go beyond science. They touch the very core of what it means to be human. And here's where the modern twist enters. Artificial intelligence is already being used to sift through mountains of data from Mars. AI can detect patterns in images, chemical signatures, and mineral distributions faster than humans ever could. If leopard spots on Mars turn out to be biosignatures, it may be AI that first flagged them as unusual. This is fitting, isn't it? Humanity's search for life on other worlds is now intertwined with the intelligence we've created here on Earth, a partnership between human curiosity and machine precision. Some even wonder, when we do find life, will it be humans who recognize it first, or AI? Let's step into the speculative for a moment. What if Mars never lost its atmosphere? What if it remained Earth's twin? A world of rivers and oceans, clouds and rain. Would intelligent life have evolved there? Would we, here on Earth, be looking up at Mars not as a dead world, but as a neighboring civilization? And if life did exist there long ago, is it truly gone? Or does something still linger, hidden beneath the surface, deep in caves or underground aquifers? These are the questions that fuel not just science, but imagination. The what-ifs that keep humanity pushing forward, deeper into the cosmos. The next decade will be crucial. Perseverance continues to drill and analyze. Ingenuity, the helicopter, has shown us new ways to explore. The Mars Sample Return mission will test humanity's ability to retrieve and study alien rocks. Beyond Mars, we're looking at icy moons like Europa and Enceladus, worlds with hidden oceans where life might still exist today. But Mars remains special because Mars is close. Mars is familiar. Mars is the planet that has always felt within reach, both physically and emotionally. If we find life on Mars, past or present, it will be the discovery of our lifetime. So here we are, standing at the edge of discovery. A rover on a distant planet has drilled into a rock, and what it found has shaken the world. Strange leopard spots, mysterious minerals, whispers of life in the silence of Mars. It's not proof, not yet, but it's possibility. And sometimes, possibility is enough to change everything. As we wait for the samples to return, as scientists debate and theories rise and fall, one truth remains. The universe is speaking to us, in signals carved into stone, in patterns left by time. And it's asking us the oldest question humanity has ever known. Are we alone? Perhaps one day soon, we'll have the answer. Until then, Mars keeps its secrets, waiting for us to unlock them.